The Unforgettable Gala là chương trình trao giải thưởng cho các tài năng Mỹ gốc Á ưu tú, công nhận họ là các biểu tượng và là những người đã tạo ảnh hưởng trong ngành công nghiệp giải trí. Rick Hong đã ở trên thảm đỏ và nói chuyện với các nhân vật được vinh danh, cũng như những người đã chiến thắng giải thưởng. Xin mời Rick.
Rick Hong here for Hollywood First Look Features. We are at the 18th annual Unforgettable Gala, which recognizes Asian American icons and changemakers in the entertainment industry. Let's take a first look. Character Media, a subsidiary of the Imperial Family Companies, held the 18th annual Unforgettable Gala presented by Lexus. The gala is the preeminent award show that recognizes Asian American icons and changemakers within the entertainment industry who are representing the community through their creativity and excellence. But so this is the 18th annual Unforgettable Gala. I can't imagine this is your first one, or is it?
No, it's not. I was here last year for it, and I don't think I was always aware of it, but having been part of it last year, I think the thing that I found so amazing was that the Unforgettable Gala has really found a way to take, that wide spectrum of Asians in the entertainment industry, bring us together, and give us a way to celebrate our achievements and celebrate each other. And we've never had a chance to do that, in an exciting way, and it's wonderful.
So you've been doing this for a long time. So how do you feel the progression has been in the last couple of years? Are we catching up? I mean, are Asian Americans finally getting their due, or is it still kind of a process?
Well, I think we're turning the corner. I really do. I think this is not a one step forward, two step back kind of scenario. I don't think we're just flavor of the month. I think because of all the good work out there, what's really exciting is that I see the variety. I see, films that are comedies, but they're also, these kind of big, kind of bigger films with very attractive people, and then you have a smaller personal story such as The Farewell, and then of course Mulan, which is epic. So now you're talking about we're represented, so that no one's left out in that sense. I mean, I love to see personal stories being told without all the glam and because I think the most exciting set that we have is like the municipal park in the county of Changchun. So in that sense, it's really exciting, I mean, we're a personal little story. And look how well it did.
Filming that was not easy for me, but I think the fact that sharing the story and how hopefully everyone who has watched it can really connect with the character that I play, Casey, I think that's amazing.
This is the 18th annual Unforgettable Gala. Is this your first time here?
This is my first time, so I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think about this? Like a gala that's recognizing like Asian American icons and changemakers in the industry.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. I'm really excited to meet everyone because I'm fans of everyone here. So I'm like fangirling myself.
It feels really good. Honestly, it's hard not to get emotional about it because I feel like we've really made a lot of change and there's a lot of improvement in terms of just the status of minorities and Asian Americans specifically in the industry, but it does feel like we have some more to go. Yeah.
And knowing this like a Groundhog's Day and it keeps going over and over and over again, it's like, did you know that it was going to be the hit that it became?
No, of course not. You never know. I think we thought that show was going to be for 3 people. Just a tiny, weird show that's, very New York. When you say Groundhog's Day meets Girls, like that is for, I don't know, for 4 people. But I'm so pleasantly surprised that it resonates with a bigger audience. I guess, what more could you ask for?
I'm old enough in the generation that there were like maybe 5 Asian Americans on television when I was growing up. So to be able to fill up a room like this with everybody who's in the industry is a really great thing. And it's shown that we've moved along. I don't think we've moved along enough, but I think, and we can push more, but the door has cracked open. And I think especially last year with Crazy Rich Asians, The Farewell, Always Be My Maybe, where the door is cracked open. So what we need to do is really power through that door and really establish ourselves here.
My bar in terms of this business has always been low in the sense that I knew I wanted to act and I would have done it close to free, just enough to pay my rent and have some food. And I feel like right now I'm in the gravy state because I can pay my rent, I can turn on the lights and feed my family. And yeah, it feels good. But what really feels good is actually there was maybe 5 or 6 of us, Asian American male actors that I came up with. and to see them, everyone flourishing from Brian T. to Ian Anthony Dale to Ron Yuan, and to see them all here, and we're still on shows, and we're not just triad number one, and it's a good feeling.
I mean, especially being on that show, because I've had the pleasure of interviewing a lot of the cast from The Good Doctor. So diverse.
I mean, when does it happen? And when does it happen that a show like that shows you a diverse cast can still be the number one watch show in the world? I mean,
And on a network too.
Yeah, I mean, to go against a lot of the streamers who have a much more possible range of budget or creative bandwidth. I mean, it's an amazing show, so I'm proud to be a part of it.
It's always a joy to be able to come and celebrate, all the awesome Asian Americans in our industry. So yeah, it's a joy to see so many people, come up and succeed and be seen by not only our community but by the world at large, and that they're being embraced as superstars and superheroes, and it's a joy to be watching them grow and flourish and blossom. So it's if that's a credit, or if that's a joy or a privilege of being an OG, I'll take it for sure.
Well, Daniel, you're a keynote speaker here tonight. It's the 18th Unforgettable Gala. I'm just wondering how it is for you to be here and knowing that you're you're here as a speaker.
I'm nervous. Are you kidding? Look at these beautiful women. I've got to get up there and try and be articulate in front of them. It's an impossible task.
We're going to be watching hard.
That's right. It's an impossible task.
Oh yeah, that
Look,
was good. That was good.
You want to ask them all the questions. I would.
Oh, no.
Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Rick Hong, and you've been watching Hollywood First Look Features.
Lần đầu tiên trong 7 mùa, mỗi đội của The Voice đều có một nghệ sĩ lọt vào vòng chung kết. Phóng viên Amy Cassandra của chúng ta đã có mặt tại buổi họp báo để nói chuyện với Top 4 và xem ai đã đăng quang mùa 17 cùng với huấn luyện viên của họ. Let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Amy Cassandra Martinez with Hollywood First Look Features. We're backstage at The Voice, where for the first time in 7 seasons, one artist from each coach is in the finale. Let's take a first look.
One track mind, making my own highway home.
Looking back at everything that you've been able to do, and how you started, what advice would you give people that are starting, that will start the process of going through The Voice?
So the advice that I would give them is don't try to anticipate what's going to be in front of you. Be intentional about this journey and what you want. Do not compare yourself, because comparison is a thief of joy. You got to know that what you have is good enough and that you were chosen for a reason, and just be intentional about what you want out of this process, because at the end of the day, somebody's going to win, and at the end of the day, everybody's going home. So what is it that you want to take out of this process? Because when you go through trying to anticipate what's to come, you're going to ruin the process, and you're going to miss out on all the gems that you're going to get from your coaches. You're going to miss out from the gems that you're going to get from your mentor, and you're going to completely rob yourself of this experience. So take each week on, take everything in, and be grateful that you're there.
Any savior on a Saturday night. Her heart ain't wired for one night stand.
You got to have an open mind, because I know every artist is very particular, and they're going to throw things at you. If you make it past blinds, they'll throw songs at you that you wouldn't think of singing. And I think you really need to approach that with open arms and understand that, you'll have the chance to showcase who you are, but you got to do that. You got to get through those songs and just take them open arms and make them your own.
Making my love to the dark side, just my emotions. Now I got you, baby, on my side. Did you think I was your token?
It's always so great talking to you. But thinking back to everything that you've been through this whole season, what advice would you give people starting this whole process in The Voice?
Go for it. Don't say no to things. Just audition and see what happens. If it's for you, then it is for you. If it's not, that's okay. There's so many different platforms out there that can get your voice out there. But don't say no. Try saying yes.
winner of The Voice is... Jake Hoot!
Congratulations, Jake and Kelly.
Thank you so much.
I want to start with you, Jake, and then move to Kelly. What does this win mean to you? And Kelly, what does Jake's win mean to you?
It means the world. I think I went out of breath. Like, I lost all my breath when they announced my name. You know, having Kelly believe in me from the get-go and be here tonight is just an incredible thing.
And honestly, that's what, like, I keep making fun of the other coaches because I'm like, why didn't you turn? Like, he was a one-chair turn. Like, other than the one season where Chris Blue was a one-chair turn, but she was the only one that could turn for him, Alicia. Like, he's literally the only person that's ever won The Voice that everybody could have turned for. And it was a one-chair turn. I mean, it's just, it's amazing. And it's like another extension of how cool this show is. Because people that might not get the opportunity get an opportunity. And then people that get a slight opportunity then end up winning. Like, that's amazing. Like, I just think it's really cool. And it speaks of how talented he is, of how cool he is as a person. And I just feel super blessed. I wasn't lying when I was texting. I was like, man, I'm super blessed. Like, just to be able to be, you know, along for the ride. So, because a lot of people think that I did a lot and I didn't. Like, he picked that beautiful Christmas song we sang yesterday. I'd never heard of it. It was so beautiful. And you picked your songs and you were like really into them. So it was like, I lucked out. Yeah! I think having been through it, I think the best advice is literally coming back to, like, never, ever, ever put your worth or value in this job. And I think a lot of people fall prey to that mindset and they get lost. And then, you know, when they're not as famous as they were, they freak out and their identity is they're having an identity crisis. And this job is super fun. Like, this hobby is super fun, and we love to be vessels for great songs that might touch people or move people. But at the same time, we have our own lives, and you've got to invest in your family, and you got to invest in all that, because that's what's going to be there at the end of the day, every day, not this job. So.
Man, this loneliness tearing me apart.
What advice do you have for anyone who does a competition like this, as well as a young person who kind of didn't see themselves making it this far? Any advice?
Oh, gosh. Well, I think, you know, and I've said it multiple times, and my girlfriend's back there, and she can attest to this. You know, from the get-go, for a little bit, you know, I didn't think it was real. And then every step of the way, I'm like, all right, honey, I'll be home next week, or I'll be home, you know, after battles, or I'll be home after knockouts. And then in lives, I was just like, all right, you know, and I continued to, you know, doubt myself and stuff like that. And Kelly continued to encourage me. And so if I can say anything, it's stop doubting yourself, get out of your comfort zone, get out there and take a chance, and no telling what you can do.
Well, there you have it. The winner of Season 17 of The Voice is Jake Hoot from Team Kelly. Thank you for joining me all season long. My name is Amy Cassandra Martinez with Hollywood First Look Features.
Nhiều năm thực hiện các vụ tử hình đã gây thiệt hại về tâm thần cho cai ngục Bernardine Williams do nữ diễn viên được đề cử giải SAG, Academy Award và người chiến thắng giải Emmy 4 lần, Alfre Woodard thủ vai. Cô chuẩn bị xử tử một tù nhân nữa. Bernardine phải đối đầu với những con quỷ tâm lý và cảm xúc mà công việc của cô tạo ra. Phóng viên Sari đã nói chuyện với Aldous Hodge và các thành viên còn lại của Clemency tại Red Carpet của bộ phim tại The American Film Institute Festival.
Hey everybody, Sari Cohen here for a special screening of Clemency at AFI Fest. Let's take a first look.
How do you keep doing it? I do my job.
These next 24 hours are crucial. Anthony's defense attorney has already asked for a reprieve from the governor's office.
You want to play this good guys and bad guys. And I'm one of the bad guys. But I give these men respect. All the way through.
I want
share a bed with my wife. How long is this gonna be going on?
All we want is to be seen and to be heard. It is not over.
I do want to hear a little bit about your inspiration. What made you first want to get involved in this project?
You know, I found that the topic is very important and timely to talk about the penal system, to talk about the trauma that everybody experiences, not just the obvious death row inmates, but also the trauma experienced by the warden, the chaplain, and also to have us take a very intense look at our judgment, our value system, and how we judge people. What's the basis of that? And so for me, it was extremely important to invest in that way, even musically. You know, the starkness of the environment and therefore the starkness of the score.
Do you walk away with a different feeling about the criminal justice system when this was all said and done?
Well, it definitely made me question the criminal justice system and is it operating for the best of all people, and is it doing its job, or is there some adjustment necessary? Yeah.
I hope this movie says something about that, that's for sure.
It will.
It's such a pleasure to meet. Hi, nice to meet you as well. So congratulations on tonight. So it must feel like coming home for you.
It feels great. It feels amazing. It feels amazing.
I heard you say you used to teach at AFI.
I did. I taught in the directing program here.
So let's talk about this film now. Where did this even begin for you?
So it began in 2011, September 2011, when a black man named Troy Davis was executed in Georgia. And leading up to his execution, hundreds of thousands of people protested against it, including a handful of retired wardens and directors of corrections. And that was the first time I was really galvanized to take interest in anything related to prison reform and capital punishment and mass incarceration. And what kind of a question that I was obsessed with the morning after he was executed was what must it be like for your livelihood to be tied to the taking of human life? Because these wardens who were protesting against his execution had all overseen hundreds of executions, and they really spoke to the emotional and psychological consequences doing so had on them and their prison staff.
Well, that's what I thought was so amazing about the film, because it didn't really touch on the guilt or innocence, but it was more the emotional and psychological effect that it had on everyone involved.
Exactly, and my hope is that audience's ability to see someone's humanity is not contingent upon knowing their innocence or guilt, right? And I feel like that's really how we progress and move forward and really see the humanity in all.
Coming from Brian Banks,
Yes.
where your character was all about proving his innocence, and
Yes.
now you're in a film where it's not really about guilt or innocence, but it's more about your character. What was that adjustment like?
So, for me, the whole point of this film is about exploring the idea of mercy and empathy from the other side of what we call justice, vis-a-vis the death penalty, right? With my character, my biggest challenge was trying to figure out how to communicate to the audience this is a human being. So it doesn't matter whether he's guilty or innocent, it doesn't matter what he did. What matters is, do we have the right to judge this man and kill this man just because of our perception of who he could be, right? I had to get them to see a human being beyond his situation, beyond the incarceration, beyond all of that. So the adjustment there was just trying to get people to see a whole, flawed, vulnerable person and get the audience to see themselves in him.
And that's it here at the red carpet of Clemency. I'm Sari Cohen. See you next time.
I don't know if this is going to make things better, but I'm trying.
You can't understand. You can't know what it's like. I am alone.
I am going to fight for him right up until the very moment you stick that needle in his arm.
You've given me hope. I can't do this on my own anymore.
I want to be home.
Warden.
Bộ phim Chiến tranh giữa các vì sao, sự trỗi dậy của Skywalker, bộ phim thứ 9 và cũng là bộ phim cuối cùng của loạt truyện. Tôi sẽ để lại cho quý vị một đoạn phim ngắn về cách mà chiến tranh giữa các vì sao trong hơn 40 năm qua đã khắc sâu vào văn hóa của chúng ta. Cảm ơn quý vị rất nhiều đã theo dõi chương trình. Đừng quên đón xem Thủy trong tập ngày mai. Chúc quý vị và gia đình có một mùa lễ an lành và ấm áp. Tôi là Tino Dinh và xin hẹn gặp lại quý vị vào tuần tới.
Insane! The Star Wars phenomenon is captivating the nation with lines
of North America's newspapers is none other than Star Wars Jedi.
You can't run from Star Wars frenzy.
The very first time I saw the word Star Wars.
217, take 9.
And 3, 2, 1, action!
I was 11 years old. It was in a magazine, and I remember seeing the words and saying aloud, Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Have you even seen Star Wars?
She's never seen Star Wars.
Here's some money. Go see a Star Wars.
Star Wars is just an important part of everyone's history.
He signed his action figure.
Right here.
I sat outside the theater to watch them at midnight with my dad.
It was designed to fire the imaginations of every girl or boy who yearns for adventure.
People's love for it, it's just massive.
1, 2, 3, Star Wars!
It's the event that has become a cultural phenomenon.
Guerra de las Galaxias.
Ce n'est pas victime de princesse.
May the Schwartz be with you!
Star Wars is a milestone for people.
The Force is with us.
I gotta get to Star Wars.
You're more than just fans. You're family.
Lando!
Red 5 standing by.
It's something that people carry with them now, forever and ever.
Now with the final trailer for the Skywalker saga release.
I can still be a part of the family costume.
You are my father.
The International Space Station watches The Last Jedi.
Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's father.
It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it. They're sharing something that moves them.
You're glad that you're finishing, but savoring every moment because you know it is the last.